Hi, my name's Eric, and today I'm going to demo some ways of using the built-in chat in Repo Prompt to make large sweeping edits across your codebase. So I've gone ahead and loaded up all of the source files that we've got, and I'll add even the public files and package and README and pretty much everything that we need from my repo for my website. And you'll see these are all the files we've got supported. So Repo Prompt's key feature is this file tree that lets you pick what you want to edit. And you can go ahead and preview these files. If you use a supported language, we've got some nice syntax highlighting. And you can see that once we've got everything selected, these are the number of files. This is about what we're using, so we're about 25K tokens. That's a pretty small code base, but no worries. It's still a lot of files to deal with. Let's go ahead to the chat, and yeah, we're going to accept that. It's a lot of tokens, but no worries. And this is the prompt that we wrote up. We're going to go ahead and enable Pro mode. And while that's running, I'm going ahead and explain what's going to happen. So in Pro mode with Gemini 2.5, the model is going to go ahead and plan edits across all the files without having to go ahead and do the edits itself. So it's going to say, here, change this, 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 and this. And you can see each file has a few changes. So it's going ahead and making sweeping edits. And the really cool thing about this is that as it's streaming, it's getting parsed, and you can see that other models are taking care of the edits. So we've got Gemini Flash editing all of these small files. So if we go to the bottom here, you can see it's getting to work and hasn't even finished doing all the planning, and a lot of the edits are already complete. So it's going through, making all of the edits. Gemini is a model that really likes to edit a lot of stuff. So if you ask it for an exhaustive task, you can be sure that it will go ahead and get to work on all of that. And so as it's finishing up, let me just explain some of the functionality here. So Pro Edit mode is something that does require a Pro license of Repo Prompt to use. But one of the cool things about it is that you can go ahead and choose different models depending on edit complexity and task. And one thing that Repo Prompt does that a lot of other tools might not is diff editing. And diff editing lets you create partial file edits. And that's very useful if your files are very large. In this case, all my files are quite small, so it's been really easy to just use Gemini Flash to go ahead and do it. So here we can see that all of the edits were created. So in one sweep, we've just created a huge edit that perfectly edited all of these files. And the really nice thing is that by having the main model just edit small parts and say, here's change this, this, and this, it lets the small model go ahead and do the busy work of making sure that the changes are well integrated. So as you can see, we created 49 changes across 15 files. It's not bad for one shot. And if I merge it all, it'll just get integrated and we'll get all of our logging. So you can go ahead and hit accept all our changes are accepted, and that's it. So that's the main gist of it. And one thing that we also support as well, so I'll go ahead, so I reverted those changes. So we're gonna go ahead and hit a new chat again. It's gonna let us go through, and I'm gonna go and use the new plan mode, which is a new feature we added recently. Now planning, what that does is it uses the architect prompt in Repo Prompt, which you can go ahead and inspect here. So we've got different prompts here. So architect and engineer are one of them. So architect is a prompt that lets the model really think through all of the changes before getting busy. So in this case, it wasn't super necessary because it was able to go ahead and do the edits quite well. But by having the architect do work on more complex changes, you can let the model really plan ahead everything that it actually needs to change, and it could be much more high level about like what it needs to do. And this is very helpful if you need your model to really make sure that it knows what it's doing, and it helps you also review the changes before you go ahead and do it. And see, it's asking the model to add reasoning for why it's doing certain things, and in the end you get like a much more exhaustive set of changes. So if I were to switch back to act mode from there, it would take this plan and kind of execute on it and read through it and do all of the work that we just laid out here. Or if I stay in plan mode, we can go ahead and go back and forth and have the plan get revised. So this is actually editable in the advanced settings. You can use plan as just a chat mode, and you can set your own system prompts in the app. And the app supports many different providers if you want to use those. So I've got like a custom provider for Fireworks that lets me use DeepSeek with a US provider. We've got Azure, we've got Gemini directly with 2.5 supported, all the OpenAI models, Open Router. So you can go ahead and add whatever you need. Plan and Act are both supported in the app, regardless if it's the free tier or the pro mode. Yeah, so Pro mode is just a really special mode that had a lot of work going into it, and it's quite agentic because it lets the model kind of really take charge of different edits across different models, and I find it's just the fastest way to get very high quality edits one shot through your entire code base, especially with Gemini now that it supports such high context. So let me know what you think. Hope this was helpful and explained some things for you. And let me know if you have any questions, and don't be afraid to hop on the Discord and ask away. Thank you so much.